All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to give a quick update on a company called CORZ Scientific, stock ticker CORZ. CORZ Scientific is a Bitcoin mining company. They just went public via a SPAC just not too long ago, and they had a major announcement. I'll go through that and show you what effect it's having on the price, and we'll talk about it. So we cover Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners quite a bit on this channel. If that is content that you are interested in, please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if you enjoy this video, of course, please smash the like button and feel free to drop a comment below with any thoughts that you might have. There's also a link to our Discord in the pinned comment. Feel free to come over. We're almost at 500 people over there. We'd love to have you join us. Okay, let's get into CORZ Scientific. CORZ Scientific is down 22.34% on the day. I am in the middle of the trading day on Tuesday, March 1st. This is a day where Bitcoin is up. Most of the Bitcoin miners are green. Yesterday, the Bitcoin miners were extremely green, and I mentioned in yesterday's video that mysteriously, for some reason, CORZ Scientific was down. So they were the only ones out of the, I believe, 19 Bitcoin miners that I follow that was red yesterday. Everybody else was green. Some were up as much as 15%. And CORZ Scientific was only down about 1% yesterday, but they were red on a green day. So now today they're down 22%, over 22%, down to $7. So I want to show you why they are down, what they did. It's catching me a little bit by surprise that they would do this, and I think it's clearly catching the market by surprise. So this is a big sell-off. And then I want to look at the chart and talk about whether this sell-off is not big enough, too big, is there a buying opportunity here? So we'll take a look at that. Okay, so if I go to their website, this is CORZ Scientific Investor Relations. So you'll see latest news. There's no real latest news. February 7th is the last time they issued any news. That was an update for January. That was a positive update. They mined over 1,000 Bitcoin in January. So that was all good. But you can see no new news here at all. So I then went over to SEC filings. Now I did this morning. I did this yesterday afternoon and there was nothing here. So sometime before the end of the day yesterday, they did post a filing to the SEC. As of mid to late afternoon when I did my video yesterday, this was not yet posted on their website and there was no press release related to this. So now we see they did post an 8K dated February 28th, which was yesterday, and I want to show you what it is because this is why the stock is basically crashing today. Okay, United States Securities and Exchange Commission Form 8K. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom first and show you date February 28th, 2022. So this is the day they filed the form, and again, that was yesterday. It showed up on their website today, and this obviously is the actual SEC filing itself. Form 8K Current Report, CORZ Scientific, Inc. Okay, so this is page 1, and this is page 2, and this is the whole thing. There's only 3 pages to this. The last page you'll see is the signature page. Okay, so I'm going to skip to the end, and then we'll get into a little bit of the details. Here in the second paragraph, you'll see, in order to provide an orderly and measured flow of shares to the public markets, on February 24th, 2022, the board unanimously approved a complete waiver and release of the bylaw lockup restrictions and the comparable lockup restrictions pursuant to the lockup agreements. So effective March 10th, which is basically a week and a half from now, the lockup waiver, as a result of the lockup waiver, 282,311,836 shares of common stock of the company will be eligible for sale in the public market at the opening of trading on March 10th, 2022. So if you look in here, they talk about CORZ Scientific went public via a SPAC. So, as is typical with these types of transactions, there's a lockup period for some amount of time so that the market just doesn't get flooded with shares. So the agreement read that the lockup period runs until the earlier of 180 days from the date of closing. And we're probably, I don't know if we're 30 or 45 days away right now. So we're nowhere near that. For the core shares and 1 year from the date of the closing from the founder shares, or in each case, upon the approval of the majority of the board of the waiver of the bylaw lockup restrictions. So that's what ended up happening. This 180 days did not come into effect. And this is what came into effect. The board waived the lockup period. So now all of a sudden the market is anticipating a massive flood of shares that are going to be available for sale to people who held shares before or got shares at the time of this merger. The market assumed there was 4 or 5 months left before this time period elapsed. So now all of a sudden it's 10 days. So if we go back, you can see now it's down 20.76%. So this is a massive hit on a day that Bitcoin is up and most of the Bitcoin miners are green. And yesterday, Bitcoin was up significantly while CORZ Scientific was down about 1%. So between the 2 days, I would say CORZ Scientific is somewhere lagging about 30% behind the rest of the other large mining stocks. That's a massive gap in comparison. So the question is, does CORZ Scientific make sense at $7.26? If you're a short-term investor, you may have a different answer to that than if you're a long-term investor. This now takes their market cap down to $2.2 billion. So remember, they mined over 1,000 Bitcoin in December and in January. At the end of January, they had 7.5 exahash per second of active machines mining. That was more than double the next closest company, which was Marathon, and they mined more than double than Marathon, and Riot was just slightly behind that, and it was more than double what Riot did, and more than double the exahash rate that Riot had. However, with this pullback today, Riot and Marathon and CORZ Scientific are all very close to the exact same market cap. 2 days ago, Marathon was at 2.2 and CORZ Scientific was at 2.9. They have reversed. Marathon's now $500 million larger market cap than CORZ Scientific. And Riot, you'll see, is at $2 billion, so they're very close. It's very close to Riot. I definitely understand that waiving this lockup period is a dramatic event and it was not anticipated. So that was not priced into what's happening. I do feel like this is an overreaction. I just don't know how long it's going to take to correct itself. And the reason that I feel it's an overreaction is what we just talked about. CORZ Scientific is the largest Bitcoin miner in North America. Now, there will be several that compete for that by the end of the year, but at this moment in time, they have more than double the hash rate of any other Bitcoin miner, and including Marathon, and they are now have a smaller market cap. And it's not that they don't have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They have 6,000 or 7,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet as well. So this is a strong company. This is a big company. This is a massive pullback. I'm starting with the chart on a 1-day time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. So I just want to show you in particular the last 2 days. So yesterday, you can see it's just this sliver red yesterday. And yesterday, Bitcoin was up dramatically, and most of the other Bitcoin miners were up dramatically. So a little bit of a red day yesterday. Again, no press release, and I couldn't find any news on this, but it was clear that for some reason this was trading way behind everything else. Well, now today we see the SEC filing, and now this is today's candle. You can see it opened here, and it has just gone down basically in a straight line so far all day today, down to $7.28. You can see it has been down here before. When Bitcoin bottomed out, when Bitcoin hit 33,000, this stock got down to $5.87. And that is a combination of the fact that it had only just started trading publicly, and so it was still finding its natural place, which tends to happen to SPACs as they convert. And in addition to that, of course, Bitcoin was bottoming out. And this very day, the 24th, Bitcoin hit 33,000. So today, a month later, Bitcoin's at around 44,000. So we're up $11,000 from here. All the rest of the Bitcoin miners are having green days. So CORZ Scientific, instead of taking the last 2 days to move up to maybe $9 or $10 or beyond, it's actually gone in the reverse direction, and it's now $7.39 as we speak. So a little bit off of its lows. So I feel like this is very oversold. I understand why it got oversold, but I don't think this is a $7 stock. I don't think this is a $2.2 billion market cap company. This news with the early release of the lockup could cause chaos for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I think when the dust settles if Bitcoin stays healthy and starts and continues its move up, I think this will correct itself. It's just a matter of how long is that going to take. So again, this is not financial advice. You can see this is a super volatile situation. You know, this one candle here, we're down 20% on the day today. So a very volatile situation. Please use your own due diligence in making an investing decision. So in my opinion, I think we're oversold. I just don't know how long it's going to take to fix itself. And could it get worse before it gets better? Because it definitely could. We see this stock has been as low as $5.86. Mainly, I just wanted to make everybody aware of what is going on with this, because it just appears to be a giant anomaly. But this is what is happening. They're ending their lockup period way early, and they're ending it 10 days from now on March 10th. So that's what I got for you on CORZ Scientific. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.